Good day everyone. Today we are going to start with our intext series in which we are going to solve all the intext questions of NCERT Biology class 12. The very first question is present in page number 4 of chapter 1. So the question states here that have you ever read of floriculture and what does it refer to? So basically floriculture is a branch of horticulture. So horticulture is the art or the science of cultivating plants. So it ranges from fruits and vegetables to ornamental plants. A structured answer to this question could be floriculture. It is the branch of horticulture focused on cultivation and marketing of flowering and ornamental plants. So here particularly in floriculture we'll be dealing with flowering and ornamental plants, whereas horticulture will range from all the fruits and vegetables to the ornamental plants. Moving on to the next question, same in page number 4. So we have to name the two parts in a flower in which the two most important units of sexual reproduction will develop. So the two important parts could be androecium and gynoecium. So we all know that androecium is the male reproductive part and gynoecium is the female reproductive part in plants. So moving on to the next question, which is present in page number 5. So can you think of how the tapetal cells could become binucleated? So basically we can find these tapetum cells in the microsporangium. As we all know, it is present in microsporangium. So by the process of endomitosis, mitosis is a process by which a single cell will divide into two and with equal number of chromosomes. So here endomitosis will take place, but the point is nucleus will divide but cytokinesis won't divide. So a structured answer would be that tapetal cells become binucleated through a process called endomitosis. Moving on to the next question, which is on page number 5 itself, that it says that what could be the ploidy of cells of a tetrad. So basically when the microspore mother cell will undergo meiosis, we'll be able to get 4 cells. So when meiosis happens, obviously the ploidy will be n, and that is the number of chromosomes will be reduced to half. A structured answer would be the ploidy of the cells of the tetrad is haploid. Moving on to next question in page number 7. What do you think the exine should be hard? So why do you think the exine should be hard? So basically a pollen grain should have to travel for pollination to occur. It can be of external factors, abiotic, non-abiotic, and many other factors. So it has to be hard because it has to survive the environmental damage and ensure safe transport. So a proper structured answer would be exine protects the pollen grain from environmental damage and ensures safe transport. Moving to next question in page number 7, that is what is the function of a pollen germ pore in the pollen grain. So germ pore is actually that we have the inner layer of a pollen grain and an external layer. So an external layer will actually have an aperture, that is a gap, which is known as germ pore. So why is this germ pore present in the pollen grain? So it is basically present as a small opening that aids in the formation of pollen tube and the release of male gametes. So here the male gametes will be able to come out from the and forming due to the formation of a pollen tube. So moving to the next question, which is on page number 8, that is recall the definition and the types of placenta that you studied in your class 11th. So when we try to recall what happened in class 11th, that is in the morphology of flowering plants, we'll identify that we have studied about all the types of placentations. Moving on to next question on page number 10, that is that what is the importance of MMC undergoing meiosis? So MMC will undergo meiosis to produce haploid megaspores, that is N, because whenever we wanted to speak about the gametes either in human body or in the plants, we need to find N, because when 2N fuse we will be able to get a proper 2N, which is the chromosome number an ideal cell should have. So the MNC undergoing meiosis ensures the haploid megaspores, which are essential for the development of female gameto. Moving on to the next question. What will be the ploidy of cells of the nucellus, MMC, the functional megaspore and female gametophyte? So when we speak of the haploidy, then we can say that nucellus is 2N, MM is 2N. So when we undergo meiosis, we'll be able to get a functional megaspore, that is N, and a female gametophyte will obviously be N. Next question on page number 12. Do you think that cleistogamy is advantageous or not to the plant, and why? So cleistogamy is the process where autogamy will take place. That is, self-pollination, self-crossing over will happen. So they are both advantages and it is not so advantageous. So when we speak about advantages, it has assured seed set. That is, no, we will not be able to find variations, but it's actually exactly how the parent will be there, and reduced dependency on external factors. So we don't actually need pollinators, either it is insects or water, wind, because in cleistogamy the pollination happens very easily. And what will not be the advantages are reduced genetic variation. So when environmental changes will happen, the plant's survival will be less, because when no variations are there, the plant will not be able to resist to the changes in the environment, inbreeding depression and reduced evolutionary potential. So the fittest will survive. So when it is not able to produce variations, it cannot be the fittest. Moving on to next question, page number 12. That is, why wind and water pollinated flowers will not be colorful and not produce nectar? Because there is no requirement. Nectar and colorfulness is only required to attract insects or animals. So wind and water, they are just abiotic factors. So you don't have to produce anything special for them. It just happens naturally. So color and nectar is specially to attract insects and animals. Moving on to next question in page number 18, that is, endosperm development precedes embryo development. Why? That means that endosperm will develop before the development of embryo. This is very important because the endosperm is responsible for providing nutrition to the growing embryo. So that is what we have written in the answer, that is, endosperm provides nutrition to the growing embryo. Next question in page number 19, that is, we have to find out whether the endosperm is persistent in the cereals like wheat, rice and maize. Yes, the endosperm is persistent. Persistence in the sense nutrient rich tissue in the mature seed. So we are able to find the endosperm is not completely used up during the development of the embryo. Next question on page number 20, that is there any relationship between ovules and seeds? So ovules are the ones which later become seeds. So obviously there will be a relation, that is, the number of ovules can either be equal to the number of seeds or the number of ovules can be greater than the number of seeds. That is, all ovules may not be converted into seeds. So the relation will be like this. Moving on to the next question, page number 22, that is, can we imagine agriculture without in the absence of seeds? That is, seeds are actually like the storing the whole plant in a small seed round like structure. So we cannot imagine agriculture without seeds. Moving on to next question on page number 22 itself, that is, how many seeds are present in the growing embryo, in the embryo sac? How many seeds, eggs are present in the embryo sac? So embryo sac, in a typical embryo sac, will only have one embryo and one egg. And how many embryo sacs are present in an ovule? Typically, there is only one embryo sac in an ovule. Next, how many ovules are present in an ovary? So, number of ovules can be one to many. So, one can be found in mango, many we can find in watermelon and the rest of the fruits. Next, how many ovaries are present in a typical flower? A typical flower will have one ovary. So when you write down the questions, answers to the questions, the first question answer is 1. Second question answer is also 1. The third question will be 1 to many, and fourth question will also be 1. Moving on to the next question, that is on page number 22. That is, how large is a tree of ficus developed from that tiny seed? How many billions of seeds each ficus tree produce? So each ficus tree will produce 850 billion seeds. So ficus will have people and banana in its group. Next question is in page number 22. That is, what is the fruit production without fertilization called? So fruit production without fertilization is simply called parthenocarpy. So it is called parthenocarpy. Moving on to next question in page number 23, our last question. That is, what could be the genetic nature of apomictic embryos? So genetically, they'll be obviously similar to their parents. So when the offspring is similar to its parent, we can easily call them clones. So that is why apomictic embryos are genetically identical to their parent plant, and so they are called clones. That's all for this video. We've completed all the in-text questions of chapter 1 of biology class 12. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.